Money may not buy happiness, but it can save the climate. My name is Arthur. I am one of the founders of Team for the Planet, and in this video, I would like to address those whose wealth amounts to several million euros. Obviously, this won't be the case for most people who watch it, but maybe together, we can bring it to the attention of the concerned individuals. Today, I would like to zoom in on 1% of your wealth and suggest putting it to work a bit more. So far, you know this, but I'm talking about making it work for the climate, so we can also have a beautiful climate legacy in tons of CO2 avoided. Yes, because when you realize that everything will depend on the state of this same climate in a few years, ultimately that 1% invested might be the one you are most proud of. In this video, I could explain what our company Team for the Planet does on the ground so that crucial climate innovations can scale up and massively contribute to transforming our world for the better. I could also tell you about how, with our more than 100,000 shareholders, we combine digital technology, entrepreneurship, and collective intelligence to identify, fund, and deploy these gems of the world of tomorrow. I could even present to you our entire portfolio of innovative companies and their results. But all of this can be easily found online, and I would be happy to tell you directly in an interview if you are interested in learning more. For the next few minutes, I would like to focus mainly on what seems to me to be the most important, the innovative model that is Team for the Planet itself. Because if we want to be the pioneers of tomorrow's world, we will necessarily need to evolve one thing: business models. You understand, if you are looking for a way to grow your wealth, I am clearly not the best person to help you. On the other hand, if you are questioning the usefulness of that same wealth, or at least 1% of it, like several renowned investors who are already shareholders with us, you should find the following interesting. At Team for the Planet, we have implemented a business model truly driven by climate performance to generate one of the best returns per euro invested, CO2 avoided. Here's how it works. Our first shareholders, over 100,000, have invested money in Team for the Planet, several tens of millions of euros. Attention, this is not a donation, but an investment because yes, we are a company and not an association. These investments are used to detect and select major climate innovations, to recruit experienced teams of entrepreneurs to deploy them, and to finance the resulting companies. Team for the Planet therefore owns a part of the capital of each deployed company. Of course, these companies need to be profitable to grow and have an impact, particularly by hiring staff. We won't change the world with bankrupt companies. Each of these companies tackles a major climate issue, and their potential CO2 reduction amounts to several million tons each time. As these companies grow and generate profits, or when we decide to sell our shares, money flows back to Team for the Planet. The shareholders' investment works like any other investment with interest. Except that instead of redistributing part of the added value as financial dividends to our shareholders, we have statutorily mandated the reuse of the money to launch new innovations and increase the climate impact per euro invested over and over again. If you know a bit about French law, you know that normally you can't do that. The distribution or non-distribution of financial dividends must be voted on at the General Assembly by the shareholders. However, it is possible to condition the distribution of dividends on the occurrence of an event. We have thus written in our statutes that Team for the Planet will only distribute financial dividends the day the global surface temperature returns to what it was during the pre-industrial era between 1850 and 1900. According to the IPCC, this is not possible for a long time. But then, you might ask, how do the shareholders benefit? Well, they receive climate dividends. The number of tons of CO2 avoided each year thanks to their financial investment. And it's not just an idea. The climate dividend is included in the European Non-Financial Accounting Framework. It is audited, certified, and distributed through a robust methodology to which more than 50 global carbon experts have contributed. Be careful not to confuse it with carbon credits. The climate dividend is an indicator of contribution, meaning the transformation of our models to achieve global carbon neutrality, and not compensation, which is more of a system that allows carbon to be subtracted from one's carbon footprint to lighten it. The climate dividend was designed to prove that one is an active participant in the ecological transition through their finances. Essentially, it focuses on reward rather than punishment. Today, well-known companies distribute climate dividends. This is the case, for example, with Decathlon or the investment fund Demeter. This shareholder model is a profound paradigm shift that allows us to truly maximize the impact of Team for the Planet. Yes, because as you know, when a company has several thousand shareholders, unfortunately two effects often occur that skew the votes in the General Assembly and undermine the company's mission. The majority of shareholders are not sufficiently in touch with the operational reality of the company. And the division of responsibility, everyone has their shares and voting rights, which they don't really consider decisive in the company's strategy since there are so many other shareholders. This is what often leads most shareholders to choose financial enrichment when they have the option by requesting the payment of financial dividends rather than reinvesting in the company's mission. It's normal. In that context, I would do the same. Thus, most companies find themselves stuck in mechanisms of hyper-profitability at the expense of everything else. And if the management doesn't share this, they often risk getting ousted. Paid in climate dividends, our shareholders constantly push for more impact. The company's overall strategy can remain coherent and effective to fulfill our primary mission, acting against climate change. And the shareholders' money, worth 1%, is truly at the service of the climate in the most efficient, traceable, and useful way possible. This mechanism allows us to support absolutely crucial innovations for humanity that the traditional economic world unfortunately cannot finance. Yes, because with a traditional shareholder model, these kinds of solutions, which do not allow for large short-term multiples and also require structuring and the formation of an entrepreneurial team, are simply never on the radar. Yet these solutions are largely the ones with the greatest potential impact on the climate. On top of that, when no one is financially interested, not even the founders, something magical happens. Everyone finds the desire to use their energy and skills to serve the cause, because that's the only thing worth serving. This is how thousands of innovations can reach us, be pre-selected by nearly 10,000 volunteer evaluators, have a renowned scientific committee willingly give their time to select gems from the applications, have tens of thousands of associates help the movement gain visibility on social media, and how you probably came across this video. In short, without this mechanism, overseen by the Financial Market Authority, we would not have the same firepower to act. For the investor that you are, it means reallocating 1% of your capital for a few years so that it contributes to creating the world of tomorrow. Indeed, Team for the Planet has implemented a liquidity mechanism of €1 for €1 over 10 years. As the funds come in, we keep some capital in a reserve account to maximize the exit options for shareholders who wish to leave. We have been able to demonstrate the relevance of this business model thanks to our initial investors. But we won't be able to push the model to its full potential without being joined by investors like you. What we can achieve together, thanks to 1% of your wealth, goes far beyond deploying crucial innovations for the climate. We can bring forth a new business model based on extra financial performance to demonstrate that it is possible, to inspire an entire generation of entrepreneurs who want to do things differently, to pave a way capable of making the world of tomorrow real and tangible. Dozens of experts write books to say what should be done. Together we can make it happen for real. We can only succeed with you. So come bring to life the greatest experiment in new business models ever created. Join the Team for the Planet adventure.